In this video, I'm going to show you how you can calculate how much money you need so you can consider yourself financially independent and, if you want, retire early. Hi there, I'm Isa and welcome back to our Bits and Bobs. In this channel, as beginner investors ourselves, we share our journey towards financial independence. We share all of our learnings and mistakes and all of the tools and resources we use along the way. So if you find value in this video, please hit the like button. It will really help the channel. Alright, let's get started with today's video. When I first heard about this whole financial independence, retire early movement, the first question I had in my mind is, okay, how the hell do I know how much money I need to retire? Or at least how much money do I need to consider myself financially independent and, have the freedom to choose what do I want to work on and things like that. When we just starting, it's really hard to grasp the idea of having a certain specific amount of money invested and being able to live off of that without having to worry about money anymore. So that's why I'm planning this week to go through how we can calculate that number, and next week go through how we can actually, in practical terms, live off our investments. So stay tuned for next week's video as well. Alright, financial independence, retire early number. How do we calculate that? So it turns out that one of the most common ways to calculate this number is based on the Trinity study. What is the Trinity study? So the Trinity study is a study that happened in the Trinity University in Texas, and their goal in very simple terms was to understand how much money can I take away every year from my investments and never run out of money. The way they did this was by looking at a 30-year period of time and looking at different asset allocation between stocks and bonds, and looking at different withdrawal rates and trying to understand what was the probability of success in not running out of money depending on what combination you had. The conclusion that they came up to was if you have 100% of your investments in stock, then you can withdraw up to 4% every single year and you'll not run out of money. They also looked into how having different asset allocation would affect that withdrawal rate. And based on the study, you can go up to having 25% of your investments in stock and then having 25% of your investment in bonds, and you still be safe to do a 4% withdrawal rate. However, if you increase the amount of bond and decrease the amount of stock in the asset allocation, your probability of success will go down. This study was based on historical data of a period of 30 years. And as we know, just because something happened in the past doesn't mean that's how it's going to happen in the future. So we should use this number with caution. However, it is still a great proxy for us to use when calculating our financial independence number. Okay, now we understand what the 4% rule is that everybody's talking about and why we can actually withdraw up to 4% out of our investments every year and not run out of money. But how do we actually calculate our financial independence number? First thing you're gonna need is to understand what are your estimated retirement expenses, meaning how much are you gonna need to survive, to live, to have the quality of life that you want once you retire per year. So one exercise that you can do here is kind of calculate how much money you need per year currently, and then think of things that can change in your life. For example, for me and my family, we kind of want to become nomads, travel around, at least for a couple of years in our camper van and whatnot. And then later on, maybe settle down in a country that is a bit cheaper than Ireland, have a lower cost of living, and that is a bit more efficient with taxes when it comes to investments as well. So we do anticipate that our cost of living, so our yearly expenses, is going to come down once we retire. So you have to do the same exercise for you. Do you intend to have kids in the future? Do you intend to have dogs in the future? Where are you thinking of living? Is it going to be more expensive there or cheaper? Is there public health care in the place that you're thinking of living? Or are you going to have to pay for health insurance? And as you grow older, that's going to become more expensive. So you have to think of all of those details and come up with an estimated number for your yearly expenses once you become financially independent. Okay, once you have this number, now the next step is just to divide that number by 0.04, which represents a 4% withdrawal rate. Okay, let's walk through an example. Let's say that after I went through everything I think it might change in my life in the future and any possible future expenses I might have, I came up with the number of 35,000 per year. So this 35,000 per year will cover all of my expenses, will cover the lifestyle that I want to have in the future, and also has a little bit of a security blanket in there just in case. So I get this number and I divide by 0.04, and I'll need 875,000 euros invested to be able to withdraw 4% out of that value every single year and live with 35,000 euros per year. But let's say you're a bit like me and you prefer to take a more conservative route and you're thinking, what can I do here to make myself feel a bit more comfortable with my financial independence number? Should I throw in additional expenses into that yearly expense estimation? Or what else can I do just to feel a little bit more comfortable and safer? So one option that you have is actually to use a 3% withdrawal rate instead of a 4% withdrawal rate. What this means is that you would be withdrawing a smaller percentage of your investments every year. So it's a little bit safer. However, it does mean that you will need to have a bigger amount of money invested to still be able to get the same 35,000 every year. So if you do the same 35,000 divided by 0.03 instead of 0.04, you see that you will need 1,166,666 euros instead. So as you can see, it is a much bigger number, but it has a bigger cushion as well, if that makes you feel more comfortable. Okay, so now you have your financial independence number, but you kind of wanted to test it out a bit and try to understand how different things can impact that number, or how different asset allocations can impact that number, how having maybe an additional passive income in the future could affect that number. For that, a quick and easy way to do it is just to use some of the FIRE calculators that are available online. I'm going to link all of them in the description below. But really quickly, some calculators that I can call out here are Millennium Money, which is super simple to use, very straightforward, super beginner friendly. One thing that the Millennium Money calculator doesn't give you though is the age at which you can retire. Some calculators can provide that for you. So if you're looking into understanding how many years it will take you to get to that financial independence number, maybe try using FIRE age to calculate that instead. Another calculator that I find extremely useful is called Engaging Data. So this calculator is amazing and is by far my favorite one because it allows you to input so many different things. The caveat here is that it is much more complex than the other calculators I mentioned before, and it might take you a little while to understand what to do with each field that is available to use. So maybe start with the easier calculators first so you get an idea of how everything works, and then level up to this one. Actually, if you'd like to see a walkthrough video on how to use the Engaging Data calculator for your financial independence number, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to do that. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful and you understood how to calculate your financial independence number. If you have any questions on how to use those calculators, or how to calculate your financial independence number, or even how to come up with your estimated retirement expenses, let me know. I'm happy to try to help you out. That being said, if you'd like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. See you next time.